How important do you think the Let's Play network is to the overall growth of the creators within it?
Oh, I think it's like one of the easiest, like the best ways to grow online is to do collaboration, and that's what I think is so cool about the Let's Play network is that like a lot of us like know each other too from like working at random industry events and stuff, and there's always like, hey, we should get together and film something sometime, and this like gives like a very easy avenue for it to exist, because that's why it's the the Let's Play family. So they're all there together, and it just makes it super easy to do crossovers, and it also makes it easy for the company to create an event like the Let's Play Family Reunion to get a bunch of them out there in a house together. And like not only is that great for each individual channels, because like so like say like Funhouse and Kind of Funny are doing something together. There's gonna be Kind of Funny fans who haven't seen like Funhouse's content, but they might see them there and be like, oh cool, and then they become a Funhouse fan, right? I think that stuff's just incredibly important, and then also you'll get content from it that you would never expect. Like for some people, like if they're fans of both, they're like, that's like the coolest shit I've ever seen. That's like two rock stars have now come together to like do this thing I'm watching, and it just creates really awesome opportunities. And honestly, like behind the scenes, everything's really cool. Like most people's known each other forever, and so it's like, like this is great. Come down, we're gonna film this thing. Like that was a blast. Or hey, let's have this fake rivalry and get into it. So it's just good for.
Has gaming always been a passion of yours then?
Yep, my passions in life have always been skating and gaming, and so it was great because like I remember having arguments with my mom. Like I used to be timed. I would have a timer to go play video games. It's like, this is how much time you have, no more video game time. And it's great because now I'm just like, like, look what I do for a living now, Mom. But I've always absolutely loved video games. I remember the Christmas when my brother got his NES, and I remember sitting down and like one of my first games I ever played was Mega Man 2 on NES, which is insanely hard for your first game. And so that was kind of just everything. If I wasn't skating, I was usually playing video games.
So would I be wrong to assume then that Tony Hawk and the skate games were like your nirvana?
Oh, totally, dude. Tony Hawk Pro Skater and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 were my jam. Skate, like I played a little bit of, but I love like when it comes. I'm not a big sports guy, but when it comes to like sports type games, if they're like really arcadey, then I'm in. Like Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey, for example, because they were just like, fuck the rules, like do whatever you want. So like, you're like shooting pucks that set the goal on fire, and you can just check people relentlessly, So it's like, then I'm down.
There's an article going around about gaming journalists needing to be good at games. Is this something that you prescribe to?
Okay, from my personal opinion, I can tell you that video game journalists suck at video games. Because we did that for quite a while. We had a whole like editorial section to our site, we did hard news, and so we were always going out to stuff, and it was hilarious. Because like, we would go out to like the Call of Duty event and just decimate everyone. Like, it was a blast for me personally, but that stereotype is totally true. Like, not saying everybody, but like a good majority, honestly, of like video game journalists are not that good at video games. Now that said, I think having both is important because, so like, say you've got somebody who's like just a complete badass. Any game he picks up, he's amazing at. He's gonna find games easier than everybody else, right? But then if you have somebody who's not very good at video games or just average, like that's important to have that voice because there's a lot of people out there who are just either not very good or average, but they love video games. And they're going to get that perspective. So I think it is important to have kind of a little bit of both.
If you had to only play one game for the rest of your life?
Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, most likely. I also am a huge fan of Conker's Bad Fur Day, which is great. I would love for them to do a new one, but they're just never going to do it. They just keep putting them in random shit. Like, what was that? PlayStation like world building game, and then they now put him in like a little AR game, and it's like they're just not giving Conker his time, man. But I'm a big fighting game player, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike is the best fighting game ever made, and I'll hold to that because the parry system is amazing. But I absolutely love that game. So many hype moments that come from it.
Is that a game that you'll continue to go back to?
Yep.
All the time?
Oh yeah. What's been really cool too is so Craig, who started ScrewAttack, he was also like a Third Strike player, and so like when I came aboard in like end of 2008 or whatever, we were both like, oh, because like anybody who's like a Third Strike player is like an instant like, all right, finally, let's do this, and that got me really into Third Strike, which is hilarious because the game is like pretty much dead now. So I like totally missed my window because I'm not gonna lie, like I'm pretty good at Third Strike, but now like it's not like I can find any tournaments. Like every now and then they do one. But what's so interesting about that game is that you literally will put it on at like an event and you will watch like Third Strike players crawl out of the woodworks because they'll be like, oh shit, like Third Strike's going down, you know, and they sit down. It's like, I haven't played in a while, but then it's like shaking off the rust together and like having all these hype moments. There's a con up in Virginia in Texas, or sorry, in USA, and it's called MagFest. There's a bunch of fighting game players there, and we always get together and they have a Third Strike cabinet. And we're always just hanging out, like all weekend playing each other. And we have this tradition on the very last day. It's like us versus MagFest. And we get a little bit drunk, and all of us stand on one side of the cabinet, and we take on like all challengers. And every round, one of us jumps in. So like, so we're playing all different characters and stuff. But it's great. I love that game. It's never. That's the great thing about a fighting game is like you're never playing the same thing twice. Every match is different.
Would there be any creators that your audience would be surprised that you watch?
Surprised? Oh yeah. This guy's great. He's called Electro Boom, and he is an older man. I think he's like 40 or 41, and knows a ton about electronics. And his whole channel is just like kind of like slapstick comedy while also doing really cool shit with electronics. So, like you're learning something, but he's like injuring himself, and the guy like has the YouTube game on point. Like I watched one of his videos, I'm like, this guy knows exactly what he's doing. And sure enough, like I watched his channel just go up and up and up and up and up, and I think he's past like 1 million subscribers now. But it's hilarious. It's like you'll watch him like he builds like a homemade Tesla coil, and then like just like it's just all random shit. It's just this kind of stupid comedy while you're learning something, and I just absolutely love that channel.
What else drives you? What else is a passion of yours apart from your gaming?
My wife tells me I have too many hobbies because like so it's like skating, video games, I sing, play guitar. I was in a band for a long time, and then God, I also like working on electronics. I've gotten into that, so like I like building my own arcade sticks and doing like back in the day I was like I'm gonna rig up like Xbox pads to a huge 2-player stand-up arcade that then I can drop in front of a TV. I don't know, I'm one of those people like whenever I get into something I'm like I need to know how it works. So like I was at Airsoft for a while because I worked for an airsoft company. You remember Airsoft, the guns that shoot the little pellets? So of course now I'm like, let's understand how the gearbox works. So I ripped it apart and like learned how all the gears worked and doing all that. Which is funny because that is what landed me a job at an airsoft warehouse where I got all my experience in online merchandising, which then led me to get a job at ScrewAttack's later on down the line.
What would be the first thing you did if you were made CEO of YouTube?
CEO of YouTube? Stop fucking with the algorithm. I would put it, I don't know if they're working on it right now. They made some weird tweak like a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago. And it's like totally screwing with suggested videos and videos showing up in subscriber boxes, even though they've had notifications turned on, they just don't show. But like, it's awful right now.
You think they'd just leave it alone? Like,
yeah, well, I mean, like, I can even imagine, like, think about that machine on what scale, like, and they have all this pressure from advertisers right now because of the brand safe content stuff, and so you're trying to do all these things, and like I couldn't even imagine like what it looks like to just move one little piece of that machine and not even know like where it breaks something else, you know?
Until like 6 weeks later when someone finds it. Yeah.
So I hope they fix that quickly because like for example right now our top 10s are suffering because of that, because they do very well in suggested videos because you know anybody, like they don't even have to know who we are, they just see like a top 10 blankety blank, oh cool, you know, but they're not getting thrown into suggested videos like at all right now.
Is there something that maybe not a lot of people necessarily know about you that might shock people listening to it?
Maybe the singing thing. Like, you know, I've thought about like if I didn't, like what YouTube channel I would do if I wasn't doing ScrewAttack, you know, and it's like maybe something with music.
What music are you into?
So I'm a huge fan of punk, but that's kind of at odds with singing for me, because like I was in a punk band for a long time. But you know, it's like, right? Well, I really enjoyed the music. It doesn't really challenge me vocally, right? So like, man, whatever. Like if there's like a song that I hear that I like, or like, for example, my daughter's like really into the Trolls movie. She's watched that movie like 700,000 times. And she really likes the song in their True Colors, which is a Justin Timberlake cover of like a Cyndi Lauper song, I think. Yeah. And so I learned how to play it and sing it for her, so she was all stoked. And so we sing it together, my daughter and I.
You mentioned your daughter. If your daughter said that she wanted to get into YouTube, how would you approach it?
there would be a very serious conversation because the internet is a horrible, horrible place. I would need to. I need to make sure that like she's at the point where she could really handle criticism, and then also like I would watch that shit like a hawk. I mean, like nothing would ever go up on that channel that wasn't like hadn't gone through me first, because I'm sure you guys like. Have you ever had the thought where you're just like, oh my god, if I had social media when I was like a teen or a tween, like,
yeah,
just think about all the thoughts. Like, I remember when I was 18, I was like, fucking, I know everything. I'm 18. And like now I'm like, no, you're a fucking idiot. You know, like, and I'm like, thank God I wasn't just like, oh yeah, and I'll put this on the internet forever. Like, so that kind of stuff, you know, have a very, very close eye on for her with like, you know, social media, YouTube, anything like that, and just, yeah. Not looking forward to those days. My son was just born recently too, so like I've got to deal with it twice. So it's great. There's like a YouTube Kids app, which they're using now. I don't know. It's gonna depend on like emotional maturity for when I kind of let them go off. You know, when I'm like, all right, listen, I'm not stupid. I'm sure you know that there are things everywhere, but like, I just want to keep it. I would keep it very open, so that like whenever that she does get turned loose onto just, you know, okay, you can search for whatever you want, you know. But also like keep it very open. Like, hey, if you see something that you're concerned about or whatever, like you can talk to me.
Yeah.
So like,
in joining the Let's Play family, you started. There's been doing more and more of these stage events. What's been the biggest advantage of doing the staged events?
I don't know about advantage, but I can tell you this is my absolute favorite thing to do in the world. I love doing panels. I don't know why, like, it is great to have that like one-on-one audience interaction. Like, I feel like I have the opposite of stage fright. so I get like super amped, you know, and I've got like a room full of people because I'm like, this is awesome. Like, we're all here together. Like, and it's like your moment to like really like, because if I can get everybody laughing, it's this really cool experience. You know, we're like, wow, like I said a thing and everyone got enjoyment, right? You know, so like, and it's really fun, like getting to just like go back and forth, like if they're asking questions, and like I try to make it a fun experience, right? And that's really entertaining. And I love doing stuff with these Funhouse guys. Like, I don't know if you just saw our panel at all. They're like, hey, you want to be on this panel? It's how to get rich really quick. We're gonna say like we don't have any money, and we're gonna try and find ways to get rich, and we're gonna ask the audience, right? It was literally an entire panel of, they put together this really shitty PowerPoint presentation, and that was just like the kickoff, and then we just bullshitted for like an hour, and it was a blast. And like we had the audience pitch us suggestions, and we were pretending like it was Shark Tank, or I guess you guys have Dragon's Den, yeah. And so it was a blast. And I love that, man. Getting to interact directly with our audience is super cool, and just getting that instant reaction to know if, and also on the other hand, you know, if a joke did not work very quickly, you'll be like, and there's just silence, and you're like, yep, not that one.
What's been your favourite thing so far?
One, I have 2 kids at home, so the freedom has been awesome. Like I got a week-long travel card, and I would literally just get on the tube and just be like, that sounds interesting, and just get off and go check it out. So there's been that. Sleeping has also been wonderful because my son is about 4 months old, so haven't been doing a lot of that. It was really cool, like going up to Buckingham Palace, and just the park around there was like, I mean, it's gorgeous, right? You know, it's green, there's pigeons everywhere, and people are walking their dogs. And the difference is like, it's so old, and it's so cool to see, like, because clearly, like, these trees were all planted in a row. It was done by design. Anything that was done by design in America hasn't really been around long enough to look that impressive, right?
Yeah.
So like, seeing these like trees that are like ancient and humongous, and they're all done in a row, and it created this beautiful like park. Like, that was really cool to see. So yeah, trees, I guess, was pretty cool to see here in London. I really wanted, like I said, I was into music and punk, and I really wanted to see like kind of the roots of UK punk, but it's all fucking gone. So, dude, honestly, like everything's been great. Like, everyone's super polite. The only thing that's really weird is you guys say, "You all right?" Like, when to open up, right?
Yeah,
so, which for us is like, "How's it going?" Which when I say, "How's it going?" usually like an acceptable response is, "Hey man, what's up?" Like, you know, whatever. Like, that is. I'm not actually asking how's it going for you, but you guys ask it so seriously. Like, and so like walk up and it's like, "You all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, what's wrong with me? You know, like, why are you needing to ask if I'm okay? Because, you know, and then I'm like, shit. Like, I keep trying to get myself in that mentality, you know, but I still fall for it, man.
If you could take anything from this culture take it into yours.
Oh yeah.
What would it be?
General politeness. The fact that you go to the tube station, and everyone on the escalator who's standing is pressed over to the right, and so that if anybody's in a hurry, they can just go right up on the left. Yeah, America, just chaos. Like you see an escalator, there are people just like some people are just lounging on it. Like they don't give a shit about like if anybody else is in a hurry. They're not thinking about that. They're just thinking whatever. I'm gonna be comfortable. Like. And just that kind of that general politeness would be great to have a little bit more over in America.
I take it. Did you stand on the left side and get caught as someone was rushing?
No. Good news, because I've been to Japan a couple times, and Japan's the same thing. And so like, first of all, I always try and do that in America anyway. But yeah, the Japan really trained me to be like, don't stand on the left. So like, just cram myself over the right. So I've done good. I haven't been yelled at yet, and I haven't cut in front of anybody in a queue. I hear that's like a really fast way to piss off the British.
Has being recognised in public ever been much of an issue?
Actually, I think like where I'm at right now is like the perfect level, because if like I'm not in like anything like video game, comics, anime related, I get recognized a lot, and that's great because like I would not have a job if people didn't watch the stuff that we do. So I'm always happy to like stop, talk with people, sign an autograph, take a photo. And I always hear people like, oh, I'm so scared to like come up and say hi. I'm like, fucking do it, dude. Like, I'm just a person. Like, and again, I would not have a job if they didn't watch our stuff. So like, so it happens like just out and about every now and then, and it's cool because they're like, oh my god, hey. I'm like, hey, this is so cool. Like, can I take a picture? I'm like, yeah. And then I'll get like a tweet after. It's like, let's go saw him in Chad. He's just like a normal dude. I was like, yup. So yeah, it's great. All the time at events, and then just every now and then around randomly, and then my wife jokes and gives me crap for it. So do my friends. We'll go around and they'll be like, "Is that Chuck James?" I'm like, shut the fuck up.